What is going on, everybody? How's Sunday treating you? Mine is pretty good. Let's do some farm sim. I say farm sim because it is a farm simulator, but what I really mean is cattle and crops. This is what we've been into lately. And let me see. I'm going to turn this off for now, but I might turn it back on in a bit. Turn that off. All right. So it is, let me see. What did we do? We fertilized, then we slept for 10 days, I think. Then we fertilized again. Then I slept for 14 days. Then I fertilized again. This is what our fertilizer looks like when we go to our fields here, fields that we own, right? So we're going to go right in here. I'm really happy with this chemistry. So we want to be at 215, 97, 292, 210, 102, 282, 214, 98, 298, 209, 97, 292. So I feel like in every field, one of our layers of fert is spot on, and the other two are within, I don't know, 4 or 5 kilograms per hectare. I, I feel like we did pretty good. I really do. Now we're at 71 for our BBCH. I don't know how high this needs to go, and this is my concern. And there's nobody in the chat right now, but this is what I wanted to ask you. So this grass over here, right, in field 11, this grass is green, as one would expect grass to be. This grass is golden. I mean, it's still sort of green. It's got a green cast to it, but it's pretty, I don't know. So our fertilizer has been spot on all throughout the growth of this crop. And it's been, well, it's raining right now. It's been raining plenty so that it's had enough moisture. But I'm really concerned. I don't know if this is what it looks like when it is ready to be mowed, right? And this is what it looks like when it's growing. Or this is what it's supposed to look like when it's all the way grown and this is burnt or something. But I don't know how it could be because, like I said, it's had enough moisture and we've kept the fertilizer exactly where it is supposed to be. So I think this is what we're looking for. And even these little green areas down the sides here, I think maybe this is just not fully grown. And some of those little strips, we had some underlap between our rows, just a tiny little bit. And when you come to the end of the row here, you can see that it is as though this underlap did not mature as quickly as the rest of the field did. So I'm going to assume then that this color here is what we want the whole field to look like, right? When it's all done. Hey, Chris. Yeah, it is extremely complicated compared to FS19. I like it though. That's what I was looking for in a farm sim. And it does click. It took, I don't know, probably half a dozen sessions for it to click for me, like what exactly it is that we're doing. And I also made a lot of mistakes. Now, some of those mistakes I could have avoided had I paid more attention during the tutorials. I'm looking both ways for traffic, like there's any traffic. Some of those mistakes I could have avoided had I paid more attention. And we can always refer back to the tutorials and the scenarios if we want to. I mean, we're not locked out of those. So we can do them again if we want to. But yeah, complicated in it a good way, I think. It's more about the mechanics of farming. So I'm pleased with the game so far. And yeah, I think that's it. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you these fields before we sleep, because we're going to sleep for 14 days now. Our chemistry is spot on. FS19 are bringing a more in-depth update. Yes, I have heard that. I've heard that, and I'm curious to see what it looks like. I don't know if it is going to augment seasons or replace seasons. I hope they do it well, and I would have to speculate that part of the reason they're doing it is because of cattle and crops. I think they recognize that there is an audience for farm sim that does want things a little bit more in depth, as you said, a little bit more complicated. So we're going to sleep now. We're going to sleep for 14 days. Let's see how our grass looks when we get back. This broadcast spreader will go away. Yeah, I think so. Now, Chris, tell me what you think of this. Why did Giants not include seasons in base game for FS19? I know because of console and scripting, maybe they technically couldn't. I don't think that they couldn't. I feel like they didn't want to. Now, it would have had to have an option, right? You would have had to have been able to turn it off because some people have no interest in seasons. But why did they not bring seasons into 19? I think that was the biggest red flag for me when 19 dropped, that it was moving more in the direction of the casual console gamer. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not, that's not the direction that I was expecting or looking for. Yeah, I think it should be base feature. I think as long as Giants, you know what? I'm yakking here. We could be doing other things. Let's sleep. Let's go up here and sleep for 14 days. Let's try to get our crop to it's at 71 now. Let's try to get it to 90. So if we sleep for 14 days, let's see what happens with our grass. Here's my thing about Giants. They've been making that sim for so long in a good way, right? But it's what, 13, 15, 17, 19. They've got 4 iterations of it. I feel like they should know by now that there is an audience that is craving more, I don't know, more stuff, more something. All right, let's take a look here. 90. That's where we wanted to be. Now, our chemistry has dropped, but we're fixing to harvest. So I don't think we need to do these again. But I do want to go take a look at these fields and see if they are all uniformly golden, side to side, right? Top to bottom, front to back. Or if they turned green again. Is that possible? I mean, I guess if they were dry and they got more moisture, they could green up. But from what I could see from the menus, they had plenty of moisture the whole time. And it's looking like field 11 is that sort of gold green. So yeah, I think that's the color they are meant to be when they're ready to be harvested. Cool. All right, let's mow some grass. Here we go. Now, I did sell the barley. And that gave us, I think we got $8,000 for it, a little bit less than I was expecting. We did sell the barley. We've got $8,000. Let's see if we have enough to lease the equipment that we want to lease. And if we do, then we will just go with that. If we run out of money, we can sell some of this equipment in here. We don't need all of it now because we're grass farmers at the moment. We may even sell the MB track. But at the moment, I don't think we need any money. So let us rent. Mowers in this game. Take a look at this. Mowers in this game use an awful lot of power. And these are the ones that I want to use. So I want to use this on the rear. This is 140. And then this on the front is 70. So that's 210. And our MB track is 180. So we're going to need to rent something bigger for that. And then there's also this thing. Where is it? Yeah, it's here. Is it that one? That's the one. This. No, now I've confused myself. There is one. I thought there was one front mower that was just massive and required a lot more horsepower. Okay, I could be mistaken. Maybe go here. It's this thing right here. No, it's this thing right here. And this is for the Jaguar. So this is the 350. Okay, all right. It's all making sense. Eventually it will. Okay, so we are going to rent one of these. Before we do that, let's do this. Let's rent the big Kloss. We're going to have it sent to the farm, right? We'll get it for 4 hours. Rent that. And let's do this first so we can move it out of the way, because the spawns for equipment are a little bit, I have to say, maybe not completely dialed yet. But equipment, when you lease it, it tends to spawn in and kind of stack up on top of each other. So let us move this thing out of the way. Then when the mowers spawn in, we'll pick those up and move them out of the way too. Okay. And does this thing need fuel? Yeah, let's go ahead and put fuel in this. Just a little bit. I mean, we're going to return it when we're done, and I don't want to waste the money, but it's not a whole lot of money. All right, brake is on. How about just couple hundred liters. Okay. And we're far enough forward while that is happening. We can go here, go back to mods, and we're going to lease one of these, have it sent to the farm. 4 hours. Right. Long pause on that spawn. It was making me very nervous. All right, and we will lease one of these, have that sent to the farm as well, and then we also need one of these quick connects, and we'll have that sent to the farm as well. Okay. So if we go here now, let's get backed up. Okay. I was very, very confused. I saw the butterfly and it looked like two side-by-side front mowers. How do we want to do this? Let's get this thing picked up first. And I'm not seeing our little quick connector. Oh, there it is. It's sort of off to the side. All right, this is going to be a little bit hokey. These aren't going to line up quite right. But they are, as I said, sort of spawned in one on top of another. All right, nice animation. Love it. So we'll see if we can get this thing picked up. Right here. All right, we got that now. And then we'll get this as well. Okay, that is one. We pull this over here, get it out of the way. I'll go right there. Set the brake engine off. Back in here. Open the door. Out we go. All right, and then we also want to rent. Let me see. I want to have two workers working at the same time. So if we go with, yep, that's that one. Go with this thing. Just put this on the back. I think we can put this on the back of the, yeah, we can put this on the back of the MB track. Okay. So we'll rent this one for 4 hours. Like so. Rent that. All right. So let's get this Kloss out of the way. All right, Chris. Thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it. So let's get this out of the way because particularly in the yard, the workers do seem to bump into things. So let's move this. All right. And we can just stuff it right in there. Just hit something. I hope I didn't hit the dog. That's no good. No, there's the dog back there. Okay, I hit something. All right. So we get this closed. And now we're going to tell, let's put her over on that small field, 23. So we're going to tell Asta, we go here, tasks, new task, preset field work, driver, Asta, vehicle, MB track. On the front, we've got the weight. On the back, there we go. That on the back. Field 23. Right. After you're done, come back to the farm. Leave everything hooked up. No valid implement. Harvest. Does that? Yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay. So mowing is, yeah, that would make sense. It's not considered field work. It is harvest. Okay. Do we want a swath? Yeah, we do want a swath. Okay. And then farm, headland. Let's do headland after. And this, I don't think we need that at the moment. Keep vehicle combination. All right, is this good? Asta, in the MB track with the weight and the half mower, field 23. Doesn't matter where we go in. We do want a headland. We do want it after. Come back to the farm when you're done. Leave a swath so we don't have to rake. I think we will have to rake because this thing is so narrow it doesn't really make a swath. Okay. All right. There you go. And yeah. Asta? She gonna back it up? Oh, maybe? Let's back it up for her. We're just gonna hop in here and skip a step. There we go. Not gonna mess with the door when we're just getting the AI sorted out. Okay. There she goes, and interesting. Can't quite make her way around this one. All right, well, we'll move this thing. We need to move it anyway. But we'll get this thing out of the way, and we're going to start in, I guess, field 12, the big field. And we'll see how this mowing goes. Now, the two things that I'm really curious about today are raking and the loading wagon. I assume that the rake will work. Right? I assume. But I don't know if the loading wagon will be able to see the rows of grass and pick them up, or if that's something you have to do manually. And I'm also curious, if we hop in a rake and drive it ourselves, I'm curious if we can tell the AI to sort of service the rake. If that makes sense? In the same way that the trailers can service the combine harvester and you can call them. I don't know if we can tell the loading wagon, come on, stop sliding. Yeah, this is apparently, when you set to realistic physics, you do get this sliding. I mean, I would say it could use a little tune-up. There we go. All right, so Asta is stuck in the yard, I think. All right. We're figuring it out. A little bit at a time. Let's go see how our worker's doing. All right. Back up the hill. Vehicle is stuck. Okay. I didn't know we got a dialogue for that. That's cool. I wonder what it's stuck on. Oh. We could tab into it. That would be quicker, but I am trying to be more realistic. In fact, let's clear these out. So we'll walk over to it. But yeah, those are my big, I don't know. The things that I'm very curious about are whether we can, I know we can put workers on a mower. I'm curious if we can put workers on a rake. And I'm even more curious if we can have workers get in the loading wagon and pick up grass that is in a field. If they're somehow able to detect it. Unknown. But we're going to get most of this, if not all of it, over to the BGA. I think we might put a little bit here at the farm, because I would like to get cattle going next year. Yeah, this is less than ideal. All right, and then we'll go third person. We'll back up. Let's just back to here, maybe. See if that helps. You know what? Maybe we'll drive to field 23. Good grief. All right, you got it from here? All right, from here they got it. There they go. All right, so Asta is going to work on field 23. We're going to work on field 12. We'll get it done as quickly as possible, and then I'm going to put Asta on field 11, and we're going to hop on a big rake, and then when field 11 is done, we're going to put her on a small rake. All right. And this was, what did it say? 10.4 meters wide. So let's go 10 meters. And I'm also, I don't know if everything lifts when you give the lift command. We'll find out momentarily. All right, so back in here. Close the door. Third person. Let's unfold everything. All right. Does this thing up front need to unfold? Rotate implement. What does that mean? Okay, so we can adjust. Oh, okay, so that's the angle that it sets at. All right. And okay, close that. So when we lower, does everything lower? Everything lowers. All right. That sort of cuts both ways, because when we get to the end of a row, we don't necessarily want the rear mower to lift. Right? We want that to stay down till we're all the way. This to be 60.5. What just happened? Negative 60.5. Okay. So like that. There we go. And this is 10.5. Let's back this down a little bit. Slide this over. Right. I think that's us done. Here. Here. Now when we do this, does it start everything? Easy with the camera. What in the world? There we go. Alright, so those are spinning. Front is not spinning. Let's see about that. Fold down. Okay. Turn on. Okay, I think we're good. So we are on field guidance. We are not. We are. Brake is off. Lower everything. Let's see if this works. I don't even know if we can mow this grass. I think we can. All right. I was curious about that. Yeah, we are mowing this grass. Okay. I don't know why. That's our first level of cruise control. And it is definitely saying we're going too fast. So let's do it manually, I guess. All right. All right, seems to be working. And Asta's making progress. Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do this episode, is get this grass down. And how we're going to get it picked up and down to the BGA. That's the second problem, but we're going to start with this. All right. So far, so good. And I think we may do the same thing we did when we seeded this field. I think we may just skip rows rather than making 3-point turns or trying to make very tight turns. Right, so we are going to run this front mower out beyond the edge of the field and then lift both when the back mowers come off the field. Right. It's going to be a lot of grass. I mean, I hope it is. I hope it's a lot of money. All right, with that, off the field guidance. And right here. Back on. Lower. Here we go. Did we just skip one row or two? It looks like one. Okay. I think even though our field is bigger, with Asta's mower being so much smaller, I think we'll still get done before her. I mean, on the one hand, I feel like when we put these rows together and then hit them with the loading wagon, that it's going to take us, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a whole lot of grass. And then another part of me thinks that every length, once we combine all this into one row, that when we come back with the loading wagon, it's going to be filling like every single length, and we're just going to be buried in silage. I won't mind that. And I think the way the pricing is set up, we're not going to make millions from it. But I am genuinely curious how profitable this is going to be. We've spent a lot of money on these fields. Leasing the equipment and payroll hasn't been too bad, but we did spend a lot to buy the fields. Those. And you know what? I think maybe we can. Yeah, we can make a 180. All right. So that's a good thing. Lower. And I think while we're down on this side of the field, we'll just go ahead and get that row that we skipped. I don't think we need to do that. We can make the turn at the end of the field easily enough. Okay. Now, this is not bad, manually controlling your speed. I thought it was going to be bouncing all over the place, but it's been pretty steady. And take a look. Yeah, I think Asta's going to be working down there quite a while. We might hire another worker. You know, yeah, that's a good idea, because we do have the little class sitting up there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's hire a worker and put them on the small rake. The base game rake, let's put them on the small rake since it's offset, and we'll see how they do, and then we'll get on the big rake. All right, it's all coming together. And I think, let me know how the volume is. I don't know if this tractor is too loud. I think when we go outside, I think that's way too loud. But let me know if it's too loud inside. I can back the volume down a little bit. I had some volume problems the other day, so I'm like super keyed into that. All right, there's that. Guidance. Get this flipped around. That. Here we go. Oh, you know what we can do? I was trying to figure out how we could see what part of that field Asta has worked on, but what we can do is just switch it over to grass in the menu map, and then the mini map will reflect that as well. I'll do that at the end of this row. All right. And we'll take a look in the menu map. I know there's a percentage of what the field, like what percentage of the field has been planted with grass. I don't know if we can see what percentage has been harvested. I mean, it doesn't much matter. Asta will be done when she's done, but just for sort of my own curiosity. All right. We'll lift those. All right. So we want to go here now. Go to here. Own fields, field 23. And grass. No. Yeah, I don't think there's a way that we can see this right now. Interesting. Okay. All right, not a big deal. And what else did we want to do? Oh, we wanted to go here and here. And here, and turn that down just a little bit more. Right about there. All right. Let's come back out of here. Break this off. Here we go. Yeah, I think we'll be done well before our worker is. That's fine though. We can do all kinds of. I think getting these fields raked is going to take as long, if not longer, than getting them cut. I also want to see what happens. I mean, what we're mowing right now is so sort of gold green, and I've only ever seen one color. I've only ever seen one color down to BGA, that very dark green. So I don't know if this is going to sort of magically transform when we put it in there, or whether we will have a different fill in the pit once we drop it in. Unknown. I think we can make it around these trees. All right. Nice sound on the mowers as well. I don't know if you're able to hear that, but the way it sort of picks up on the PTO when you actually get into the grass. If we can tell our worker, just thinking, if we can tell our worker, like, yeah, let's try it. Let's try it. So we started on the west side of the field. if we could tell our worker to start on the west side of the field making north-south roads. Yeah, let's try that. Driving too fast. Story of my life. It's probably going to kill our frame rate, but we could have. No, we'll just wait till we're done, because we have to do all of field 11 as well. So there's no point having a worker in this field with us to save time when we still have that whole other field to do anyway. Okay, no problem. I'm just curious how smart the smart workers are. They're pretty smart, I have to say. Compared to what we're used to, they're pretty smart, but I don't know how complex their tasks can be before they sort of hit the wall. All right, so we get flipped around here. Right. There aren't too many mods for this game, but these great big Colossus mowers are. I'm glad they are a mod, because if we had to do this whole field with that little 3-meter mower that Asta is using, oof, that would take a minute. But yeah, we're moving through here pretty quickly. All right. Now there's a way. I thought the cruise control was it automatically adjusted itself to the maximum speed of the implement, but I know there is a way to manually adjust the cruise control as well. So we could probably slow it down a little bit. Yeah, let's do that at the end of this row. May as well learn to do it at some point, right? So we want to go. No, I don't. I was trying to remember it, but I don't remember. So we'll just take a look on the menu and get that swapped out. And we want, let's say we want 10 kilometers per hour. All right. So we go here, lift that, guidance steering, set the brake, and we want bracket. Okay, so we want, when would we set that? Like if we do that right now, does it have any effect? I just tapped it down a few clicks. All right, so we'll get rid of this. Tap that down a few times. Get turn around. Drop. Okay, so it's. Yep, it did slow down even though it wasn't activated, so we can just bump it back up now. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. Okay, let's try that. Is that our cat? That is our cat. All right. I guess that's something animals do on farms. frame rate's in the 20s. I don't know that a whole lot can be done about that at the moment. I know when we didn't have crops in the field, our frame rate picked up significantly. I think it's just limitation of the game at the moment. All right, so we'll lift that, lift that. Turn back around. Beautiful. All right, now we're making progress. All right, here we go. We're about, I'd say halfway across, and Asta is about maybe a quarter, maybe a third of the way across. So we'll definitely be done before her. And I think she's going to do headland as well. So yeah, we'll finish up with this field. We'll get a worker going on this field with the rake. Let's do the big rake in this field since it's the biggest field. And then I'm going to, you know what, we've done enough mowing. By the time we've finished up this field, I think we've done enough mowing. So let's do this. We'll take this back up to the farm, we'll drop the mowers, we will lease a loading wagon, and we'll follow behind our rake. And start taking this down to the BGA. Okay, and then when Asta's done, we'll put her on field 11. And maybe hire a second worker on the small rake. Yep, that works. All right. Oh, and we still need to, whatever we take down to the BGA, we still need to compact this as well. I don't know off the top of my head if this game is using Fmod, but you can definitely hear there's a significant like sound, a sound palette, and also the direction of the sound. So as I turn my head, I can definitely hear the. So when we're looking straight ahead, we've got one. You can hear the front mower, I guess, for lack of a better word, out in front of us. But when I turn, then everything changes. You can hear the rear mower on the right side and the front mower on the left side then. So it seems like they put some effort into that as well. Like that. Don't hit this tree. Yep. Drop those. And I think I saw, yeah, there's our deer that runs around right in front of us. Hopefully they're going to move out of the way. And when we get done with this field, I do want to just kind of lean over there and see how our worker's doing as far as what kind of rows they're dropping. Now it said drop swath, and we did select that, but I don't think that little mower can really drop a swath. Or if it can, it's so narrow and they're so close together that it's really doesn't make much of a difference. But I guess we could just drive the loading wagon back and forth across a field that hadn't even been raked, but wouldn't be very efficient, I don't think. And we'll definitely need to rake this field, but we'll take a look. I'm still learning this stuff. Every time I play this game, I learn something new. All right, so there is that row. Okay. I know these mowers are really, really loud. I think, well, in-game they are, in real life they are. But I think as low as I have the volume set, it is still really, really loud. So we'll be done with this another few minutes. And I don't think I'm going to do any more mowing this afternoon. I think we'll have the workers do the rest of the mowing. We'll focus on the rake and the loading wagon. And grass just grows back, right? Well, we don't need to plant it again. We just need to fertilize it, and it does grow back. I don't know if we'll get another cut this year. I would say we should. I mean, it's mid-August in-game. I would think we could probably get another cut, even if it's like a small cut, maybe? I don't know. Find out. Alright, and for this one, let's do it this way. We'll stay to the left of this tree, right? Put those. And let's just back around this way. Yep. Drop that. And there we go. Interesting. When we went back to our cruise control, it did not retain that temperature. Did not retain that speed. What? not cut that. We just ran over it. Oh, that sucks. I don't know why exactly that happened. I mean, yeah, we just destroyed that grass. We didn't mow it. We just destroyed it. I lowered the speed for the cruise control. Let's try it again. Yeah. All right, there's 10. I mean, I guess if you come off cruise control, it like resets itself. That's less than ideal. They might want to take a look at that. Well, it's not that much, but I still hate to waste anything. All right. Yeah, and there's no indication. I don't see any window or panel that lets you know what your cruise control speed is going to be. I feel like the only way to know that you set it too fast is when it tells you you're going too fast, but at that point you are destroying crop. Huh. All right. We'll know for next time. Right. How's Asta doing? About halfway across. Now that field does taper significantly on the western side, the left side. So her lengths are going to get quicker and quicker the further across that field she gets. I don't see, it's 10 there. Yep, I don't know if there's a bug somewhere. Not that kind of bug. I don't know if there's a pip on the speedometer or some way to understand what your cruise control speed will be the next time you engage it. But that was a little disconcerting that it just took off like that. After we set it to 10, so we weren't going too fast, that it then took off again. Oh well. And you know what? We'll have an opportunity to do the same thing here. I think we're going to need to do the same thing. Turn around and back up that way. Yeah, so let's try this again. Okay, so we'll lift those. All right. Come off guidance steering and back up this way. I'm going to tap this down a little bit. And then we'll go back on guidance steering. Yeah, I think that might be the safe way to do it, is just to lower it below the point that we want to be at, so we know it's never going to take off on us. Yeah, we just need to remember to do that. Okay. Where's our worker? Can't see him. There they are. All right. Yep. We'll finish up these couple rows. We'll take a look. And yeah, I think this thing is best suited to pulling a loading wagon with, what, 40,000, 50,000 liters in it? Yep. I think that makes sense. All right. And you know what? I didn't even look on these. Yep, on these. Rotate implement. Hold up, turn on. Uh-oh. What's that mean? I'm going to need to look that up afterwards. Rotate implement, and I guess I could have taken a look at that before we started. I wonder if that's... Oh, you know what? I wonder if that is... Throw a swap. Let's take a look. At the end of this row, we'll take a look. I wonder if that is a possibility with this rig. If that's the case, we wouldn't have had to rake this field at all. But that's okay. I wanted to figure out the raking process. So, not a big deal. All right. Let's go here. Figure out what this is. So we're going to lift. We're going to come off field guidance. We want to go here and what's this? Okay, I think it's how wide it throws its own sort of individual swath, but I don't think it's possible to have it throw to the center on both. Okay, so we would have had to rake this field regardless. All right, I'm glad I saw that, but it's not what I thought it was. Okay, go back in here. It's a little quieter. Let's back this down a little bit. All right, lower. Here we go. Yeah, I'll need to sort out this cruise control business. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And it feels like it responds differently under different types of load. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. All right, well, we've only got a couple of passes left here. And this is a mod mower. So maybe we'll try it with the base game mower and see if that one's any different. But we are getting it done. That's the important thing. We are getting this field done. And I think we'll have at least one, possibly two passes. We better make some money from this. we need to for one thing, but after all this work and some, well, they're not the biggest fields on the map, but they're very big fields. Some of the biggest on the map. Really hope we make some money. All right. Here, turn too wide. There we go. Yeah, I guess Asta is making pretty good time. I thought we'd be done a lot sooner than her. But I think it'll all work out. As long as we get our workers started raking this field, and then another worker started raking that field, just so we can see how all that works, I'll call it a good day. And we can, what's the best way to do this? And we'll just drive up the side here. I don't know if we can, well, let's try it. I mean, there's no better time to figure this stuff out than early game, right? When we don't have a lot at stake. So let's drive to the end here. Lift. And then if we go here, we want to, right? And if we, good grief, those things are loud. Okay, they all turned off. Okay, so now we want to fold these. We want to fold those up. And if we go back here, we can get rid of this. Come off that, right? Get rid of this. Don't need that, don't need that. We just want the front. Now, if we lower now, does it lower everything? Sort of. And if we turn on, does it turn on the rear motors as well? It does not. It just turns on the front. Okay. So we can just go up this row with the front mower and leave the butterflies folded. Okay. And they did, it was either the last patch or the one before that, they did adjust the way the tractors move over different surfaces. So there's grass meadow, plowed field, cultivated field, field with a crop in it, whatever. I think that's the reason we're bouncing around like this, is we've got 2 wheels on one surface and 2 wheels on another. Beautiful. All right, that's field 12 done, or at least field 12 has been cut. Now we just need to get it down to the BGA somehow. So we will lift that, right? Turn it off. Pull right up here. We're going to set the brake. We want to go here. We want this thing. We want to fold it, right? And we're going to go take a look at Asta's handiwork. See how this is all going. Yeah, this field will definitely need raked. I don't know what the difference would be with that little mower that is on the worker. I don't know what the difference would be whether we selected swath or not swath. It could be there's no difference at all, and that's just a tick box for, right? It like generic harvesting. If you have harvesting selected in the worker menu, it gives you the option to make a swath, whether that would be straw swath behind a combine harvester, who knows. But I don't know that there's any difference with that little mower that's on there right now. Okay, so we'll take these back to the farm. We'll drop these, and oh, you know what? Before we go any further, because we can have them get started while we're waiting. So if we go right here, set the brake, get this menu open, we're going to go here. We're going to lease, where is it, this thing? 80 horsepower, and our little Colossus is 145. Okay, so that can handle that. So we're gonna, oh, we can save the 500 bucks because it'll, as soon as we put the worker on the task, it will immediately form up. Okay, so we want, interesting. Interesting. That's 5 meter, that's 7 meter. Let's go 7 meter. So we're gonna rent this for 4 hours, right? For 100 euro. Hell yeah. So we're gonna rent that. We're gonna go to tasks. We need to, hang on, we gotta go to staff first. We're gonna hire Ernst. Come here, buddy. We need you for, let's say 5 hours, so one doesn't run out. We're going to hire Ernst, and then we're going to go back here, tasks, new task. I think this is field work. Drivers, Ernst, vehicle, the little class, bumper on the front. There we go. That on the back. All right. He's going to start in field 12. After he's done, go to the farm. Keep everything intact. Go ahead. Is that it? I think that's it. Start immediately. All right. Get to work. So we'll see how they do raking, and after we drop off these mowers, we will lease a loading wagon and head down there and just kind of follow along behind them. And I need to be careful making my turn here because I don't know where they're going to be coming out of the yard. Oh god, our frame rate is 20 right now. That's what you get when you put 2 workers on. So let's, where can we put these where they won't be in anybody's way? How about right over here? I want to put these mowers somewhere where they will not interfere with anybody. So if we go right here, let's unfold. We're not going to hit that pole. No, we're okay. Right. So we drop up. We drop that. Pull forward a little bit. Drop that. Drop that. There we go. All right. So that is sorted. Ernst is. We'll take a look on the map. I don't know what happened to Ernst. How you doing, buddy? Where you at? Oh yeah, he's doing great. All right. So we'll set the brake, engine off. How do we fix this? All right. That seems problematic. Oh, what an immersion breaking buzzkill. Jesus. All right. Well, that just about puts me off the game. I mean, I know it's not harvest. Okay, so that's this one. Stop. These are all done. I don't know how to end this task. Yeah, I think they think they're still connected to it. Right, like they're coming over here to work. What? Yeah. So how do we end this task now? It doesn't. We deleted it. It doesn't exist anymore. Oh no, it's this one. It's this one. All right. And you know what? Let's clear these out of here as well. Neaten things up a little bit. All right. So then we go here. We go here. That is in the fleet. Now this is a mod. So, right? Recover to in front of the player. There we go. There we go. Let's try to pick it up one time. If it's not working, we will just go with the other rig. But I suspect that this mod may be, you know what I'm saying? All right. Got my eye on you. So far, so good. Ernst, my man. Help me out here, buddy. All right. So, go here. We want tasks, right? New task. Field work. Drivers. Ernst. Vehicles. Little claws. Safety bumper on the front. This thing on the back. Right? Save. Field 12. No headland. Go to the farm when you're done. Keep everything built. Do that immediately. There we go. All right. We'll see how they get on, and we'll hop back in the big class. Okay, easy enough. All right, so now we're going to lease the, I think there's only one loading wagon at the moment. So we'll lease that and go follow along and see how many lengths it takes us to fill that thing. I mean, if it's filling every length, ooh, we're gonna have a crazy amount of grass coming off those fields. And no, I did not. I keep meaning to configure a run trigger, but I haven't. Not yet. I want to. All right. So hop in Biggins here. Yeah, we'll just have that thing sent to the farm. So open our door. In we go. we want to lease. I think there's only one. Yep, it is right there. And this requires need power 180. Yes, we're okay. We want this sent to the farm. We want it for 4 hours, as always. I don't know what happens if you're using a piece of equipment and the lease runs out and it has something in it. I don't know how the game resolves that. So let's say we're using this thing. It's got 50,000 liters of grass in it or something, and the lease runs out. Does it just disappear and take that grass with it? I don't know. Unknown. Move it, pup. We got work to do. All right. Looked up. Here we go. That was a bit fast through there. Probably could have slowed it down a little bit. Oh, I'm still rattled by the mower clipping through the wall. All right, how's our guy doing? Seems to be okay. All right, and this thing. Let's see, let's take a look outside. I think we just need to, oh, the sliding. Yep, don't need to unfold it. Just need to turn it on. And pull down here a little bit. Lower. There we go. And cruise control. Here, save game. Yeah, we probably could have waited a little bit longer. Well, no, maybe not, because we do need to make trips down to the BGA, right? So our guy is going a little bit slower than we are, but as soon as this thing is full, we're going to need to dip out for a good, it's probably going to take 5 minutes round trip. And that'll give him an opportunity to do another couple of lengths. Yeah, I think it'll work out. And then what's the last thing we need? Oh yeah, the last thing we need to see is, will our worker pick up crop that's on the field? In this case, grass, but it could also be straw swap. Will our worker pick up something that is on a field? Are they smart enough to do that? Or is that not in there? Not in their skill set. All right. So lift that. Yeah, frame rate is really taking a beating right now with 2 workers on and crop in this field to our right. And I guess there's still some crop in the field to the left. Field 23 as well. With crop in the field and 2 workers, our frame rate is just, I don't even want to talk about it. It's terrible. But the devs did say they're going to be working on optimizing, so looking forward to that. And I think we're going to fill this thing about every 4 rows. Because, yeah, we were like 25% at the end of our first row. And we'll be, I think, just over 50% at the end of our second row. So, yeah, 4 rows to fill this thing. Probably, 12 rows across. So that'll be 150,000 from this field. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what we get when we sell silage in that hopper down at the BGA, but I think we'll do okay. I think 50,000 maybe 60,000 we'll make from this grass. That'd be nice. Now, we don't have to plant it again, and we can sell some of the equipment that we have, right? Because we're not going to use our cultivator or our plow anytime soon, so we can just keep the Rebel, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, I think we can sell some equipment. We will... I think we'll definitely make it through our first year. That. I think we'll definitely make it through our first year. We won't have to take out a loan. We've got 2 tractors. We really only need 1. But if we have 60,000, I mean, what could we do with that? We could buy back those 4 fields that I screwed up earlier in the year. Right? We'd try to sort those out. And maybe use those for, I don't know, something. Maize silage for the cows. Yeah, this could work. And we can buy cows too, because I think cows are about 500 euro a piece. Yeah, so we could buy like, what would that be, 10 for 5 grand? Yeah, let's think about it. I mean, we've got between now and next spring, and I don't know if we'll get another grass cut out of this set of fields that we have right here. But I'm comfortable with the way everything is working out. And the volume of grass that we're getting, this was my biggest concern, is that we would not be getting a lot of grass into the loading wagon, but we seem to be, at the moment, getting quite a bit into it. So I hope we can make some good money from this. Regardless, all we need to do is sell 1 tractor and we'll make it through the year. We didn't go bankrupt. All right. So we lift that thing. Get this turn around. I think, yeah, about 3.5 lengths. Okay. So that's maybe more than that. Maybe 5 trips per field. And I don't know if this thing turns off automatically when it gets to 100%. That's 97. 98, 99. Pickup is clogged. Turn off the baler, go to the pickup, and press the unclog button. Okay. I think that happened because it's full. So, all right, let's sort this out. So, hop back here. I'm really sorry about that frame rate. You know, that's one of my things. Press the unclog button, which is... hang on. Attract animals. Activate mouse cursor. Yeah, I don't know what the unclog button is. Unclog the pickup. Okay. So it's not an active button. It's more like a trigger. Okay. Back up in here. Brake is off. This is my last bit of uncertainty for the day, is what this is going to look like when we put it into the pit at the BGA. Whether it's going to turn into that dark green carpet, or whether we somehow waited too long to harvest this. And the BGA, I want to say, is, you know what, we can put a pin in the map until we remember where it is. It's not there. It is, it's just right there. Okay. Brakes off. Here we go. So if we were to put a worker on field 12 after we picked up 3.5 rows, I don't know if the AI would sort of scan that field to detect rows. I mean, I guess the only way we can do that is just test it. This thing is really, the steering seems really sensitive when it's got all that weight on the back. All right, now we do need to pull in and be weighed. We do not. Let's get rid of this first. We're gonna go here and just click that. That's gone. All right. Sir? You're coming with me? Come here. Come here. All right. I don't think we need to do this when we're dropping off, do we? All right. And we can use any of these. Let's use the one closest to the hopper. Right? That'll be the most efficient, will it not? That in there. All right. Fingers crossed. Here we go. I mean, that's got a different look to it. And it is calling this field grass rather than silage. I don't know. Did we do something wrong? I'm feeling like we did. Alright, so let's do this. Let's drive back through... let's go back and get weighed again. And then I want to pull back around and look at the menu on the end of there. Right. I want to take a look at that menu on the end of there and see if there is any type of indication of what we just put in there. I thought that was, well, I mean, I knew it was grass, but I thought that counted as silage, I guess? Precursor to silage? Oh. All right, so we're gonna stop right here, set the brake, go back in cab, open the door, so hop out here. What does this say, if anything? Oh, sensitive. It just says 40,000 liters of 1.2 million. And yeah, sorry, it's the sticks are very sensitive when you get in that close. I'm trying not to bounce the camera around, but it does do that. I apologize. It doesn't say what we just put in there. On the menu for the trailer, it said field grass. That looks very different than anything I've seen in those pits before, unless the dark green is maize silage. Okay, that could be it. Because that I've never seen that light color in there before. It's always been the dark green. But it could just be that's the difference between grass silage and maize silage. Or, again, the precursor to it. I know it's not silage until it ferments, but you know what I mean? The grass just looks different compared to the maize. All right, well, it's too late now. We're committed. So let's get back to the farm. We'll keep picking up those rows, and I would say as soon as Asta is done with field 23, we're going to set her loose on field 11. And then Ernst is going to drop the big rake and we're going to put him on the small rake and have him start on field 23 because I want to see what that small offset rake does. We know the big rake works. So we'll drop that and lease the small rake and have Ernst work on field 23. And then we'll just probably finish up field 12. We might not get all the way done with it, but we'll get as done with it as we can in a couple hours. And then we'll call it. All right. Really not very far from... Oh, careful. We're really not very far from the VGA. It's a quick trip. Okay. And I think... We'll take a look. I think Asta may be done. I don't know. Right, so we want to pull in here somewhere. Look for this half a row. That's going to be right up here. Yeah, I think these rows beat up your frame rate a little bit as well. I mean, the big crops, the tall crops waving around, I would think, yeah, that's a given that those are going to beat up your frame rate, but I think these rows do too. I think they do. All right. Where is Asta? Asta's working on headlands. So, okay, as soon as she's done, we'll send her over to field 11, and we'll send Ernst over to field 23. All right, it's all coming together. And what we may do, I don't even know how it'll work. We'll take a look on the task menu. But what we may do is hire another worker for a few hours. And we'll keep working on these rows behind Ernst on the big rake. But then at some point, we'll hire a worker and tell them to pick up the rows in this field and see if that can even be done. Lift that. Got a big turn here. I want to wait till Ernst does his headlands. And I mean, I don't know how sophisticated the AI is, but using that as an example. So when we told Ernst to rake this field, does that task leave any type of a, not a residue, but you know what I mean? Is the path that Ernst took when he raked this field, is that somewhere in the game file at the moment as the location of the row? Because if it is, then putting this implement back here, putting it to work in this field, it could just follow along on that row. But that would need to happen sort of invisibly behind the scenes, and I don't know if the code is that sophisticated or if the developers built it to that level. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there are a lot of very really complex and comprehensive AI features in this game that I'm still getting used to because they're so unexpected. So it wouldn't surprise me, but it also wouldn't surprise me if it was not in there, because that's kind of a big ask, you know. I mean, a bigger ask would be that the AI would be able to spot the row, right? Like pick up the coordinates of the row and then drive and pick it up. I don't know. I think what we need to do is just continue working while Ernst does his thing, and as soon as Ernst is done with the headland, then we will try a worker and see if that does anything. Oh, that's cool. Seeing our crew out there working away. I love it. I don't know if this game does have or ever will have any way to compare years or compare fields. I think some graphing would be nice to see like how close you were on fertilizer. I tried to stay as close as possible within 5 or 10 kilograms per hectare. Try to stay as close as possible, and maybe to graph that in a way to see, you know, I was, I'll call it 2% or 3% or something, but that I was within 3% on fertilizer at all times, and the field did get enough moisture, and with this crop, it gave us this yield, you know, that sort of thing. Just to track, just to have that diary. And I'm also curious, because of seasons. I know seasons isn't part of this game, but the functionality of seasons, where if you focus on one crop for too long, the price of it begins to drop. And that is the case in real life. Supply and demand, etc. And I think that would be a, well, it's well implemented in seasons. I think it would be a nice feature in this sim as well, that you can't just beat up one crop year after year after year. You have to rotate, you have to alternate. And I believe, I think rotation is a feature in this game where you can't grow the same crop in the same field year after year, or the yield will drop. But that is, or would be, independent of the pricing. So I'm pretty sure rotation is required, but you could, as an example, rotate the same 3 crops through 9 fields, so you always had a different crop in that field year on year, but every year you were still selling the same amount of the same crops. And that's what I'm curious about, whether prices do go up and down based on how much of a crop you grow and how much of it you sell. Sort of a living economy. And again, I can't say this enough times. Nothing would surprise me in this game, because it seems like the devs have gone absolutely berserk with the details. I love it. Drive slower or the pickup will be clogged. Okay. We can do that. So let's drop that down a little bit. All right. That was pretty quick between between warning and clogging. That was pretty quick. All right, so let's drive back beyond where we got bound up. Are we far enough back? Starting to sort of curve off to the side. There we go. All right. So we'll set the brake. Let's hop out here. Oh, we're full. That's the... There's your problem. I didn't even notice we were full. All right. My mistake. So we come back here, and we want... Oh, we didn't turn it off. We have to turn it off first. We come back here. Turn that off. Yeah, no doubt, Jenner. It is old school. Why are we not seeing our why are we not seeing our button? All right, hang on. So we'll go back in here. Raise pickup. There we go. And it is off. Is it not? It is off. Pick up. All right. I think that's everything. Yep. To unclog the pickup, it needs to be off and raised. Details. But again, that's on me. I was yakking away and did not notice that we were getting full. All right. Brake is off. Here we go. I'm going to try to get this row in front of the row that we just dropped. I wanted to drive the whole length of the pit and try to get that spread out, but I ended up driving a little bit too slow, and it's kind of, whoa, don't hit the cat. It ended up back toward the entrance to the pit, or the front end of the pit. And I'd like to get it spread out a little bit. I don't know if it's this tractor or having that big trailer on, but it feels like moving the wheel just the tiniest little bit really leans the tractor left and right. Trying to drive as carefully as possible. And then one thing we will have to do, and I think it's going to make sense to sell, because we've got at the moment 3 cultivators. We have the Power Harrow, the Zircon Power Harrow. We've got the Lemkin cultivator, and we've got the Rebel Disc Harrow. We don't need all 3, so we could sell 1 or 2 of those, and that will free up some money. We need to buy a front loader. And a bucket for the little Klaus, and that's what our worker is going to use. I'm going to set up a recurring task for our worker to come down here every morning and fill the hopper. Right? Just come down here every morning and sell silage. And I think that's going to be good for, I hope, a few thousand euro per day. I hope. All right. And I also like in this game, in this sim, that when you drive over silage in the pit, it doesn't magically squirt out as though it was toothpaste. All right, so we want this right about here. And I am going to do this third person a few times. I want to kind of get the hang of it. All right, so we will extend this row all the way out. Not exactly straight. Pretty straight. Sort of straight. Yeah, that's pretty straight. Trailer fart. I don't know what that means. All right. So we'll go get Wade. Can't see. Think we're good. Yeah, we're good. All right, back to work. And let me pause here before we go any further. Is Asta done yet? No. Looks like Asta's still working. All right. Oh, the green cloud. Nice. All right. So hopefully we're all going to get done about the same time. Well, no, Asta's not going to be done with field 11 before the end of this stream. But I want to see Ernst done with field 23 and get him started on field... I'm sorry, get done with field 12 and get him started on field 23 on the small rake. And then I'd like to get done with field 12 with the loading wagon. All right. And that's 11. So then this is going to be 12 right here. Is that right? That's right. Got to keep an eye on my fill level this time so we don't get too full. God, there goes our frame rate. Oh, it's like getting kicked in the balls. Well, you know what? For the most part, performance has been, it's been better and it's been improving. So no complaints there. All right. Pickup is on. Pickup is lowered. Here we go. I think there may be a price list. Oh, you know what? hang on. At the end of this row, I think we can take a look. Yep, at the end of this row, we can take a look. We'll lift that. Stop right here. Set the brake. And if we go here, right, so we're getting 40,000 per trip, right? I think we're going to make, say, 6 trips. So if we get $250,000 from this field, and we go here, silage trader, water trader, BGA, gas station, co-op. All right. Is there no Harbor Grain, Harbor Silage? Really? We can't see a price for silage in here. Fieldgrass silage. Here we go. I mean, that's if we sell it. Is it going to be comparable? Well, we can get this price because I can't find the BGA prices. So if we have 250,000, I got my calculator open. 250,000 divided by, all right, 0.144. That's 40 grand for this one field, and I'd say the other 2 fields combined are about the same size as this field, so that'd be 80,000 for grass, which is certainly enough to buy animals next year. We could buy those 4 small fields and try to fix those. It's really bothering me that I screwed up the fertilizer on those small fields, and so I want to buy them back and fix them. So that would be enough, because I think they're about 5,000 euro a piece, so that'd be 20 for those 4 fields. So we could get those, we could get some animals, we could keep both tractors, and we don't really need anything else. Okay. And that's if we haul it down there and sell it. Or, oh, you know what? No, I think it might even be more than that, because that price, that just said field grass and then silage in parentheses. So that's not selling silage. That would be if we were just selling field grass down there. We could make 40 grand for this field. I mean, I like that because I like the money. Who doesn't like money? But what I don't like about it is I hope that Cattle and Crops is not like Farm Simulator, where all you need to do is plant grass and you can just make money, so much money, so fast. So we'll see. But for now, we're committed to taking this down to the BGA, and then we'll sell it and see how that goes. And we'll also get digestate that we can use as fertilizer. Now we do have in the barn, we do have, I want to say, 10,000 kilograms of 2010-10 and 10,000 kilograms of K60. I got a tip from somebody. They said, just buy it and keep it at the farm. Those are the fertilizers that you will use more than anything else. So you'll save a lot of trips down to the co-op if you just buy them and keep them. We need to make our turns a little, you know what I'm saying? A little tighter. So we don't need to buy 2010-10. We don't need to buy K60. If we get the BGA going, we won't have to buy digestate. We will still have to lease the tanker, and we'll have to lease our broadcast spreader. But yeah, I guess I'm looking at it like anything we can do to not spend money is more animals we can buy. It's more fields that we can buy. Oh. But yeah, it's encouraging to think that we could make 80 grand. But in a way, I mean, I wanted to make money, but I don't want making money to be too easy. And there's 50% on our loading wagon. We'll keep an eye on that. Yep, I definitely want to, this episode, I am going to finish getting this field down to the BGA. I want to see what our total volume is. And there may be, we'll take a look on the wall down there. There may be a price list that we can see what we get for silage in the hopper. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't want to make like 150 grand. You know, I mean, it'd be nice, but I don't want to make that much money that fast. It would be too easy. All right, so we'll lift that, and let's swing a little wider this time. Better. Mo better. All right, drop the pickup. We're at 65%. And is Asta done? Man, Asta is still working. I think the headlands are taking a long time because there's a lot of turns with that very small mower. But it looks like... I think Ernst may be on headlands by the time we get back from the BGA next time. And then we can just follow on and get this all brought in. There's 80%. You know what? I might just call it at the end of this row because I think we're going to be in the 90s somewhere. So rather than having a half row, let's just go to the end here. Yeah, there's 90. Oh my goodness. That's not what I... Moment, please. I don't know how you feel about music. I don't care. Lyrics don't bother me, but I want to be mindful. You know, I don't know what your thoughts are on that. All right, so we'll lift that, turn that off. We'll set the brake. I'm going to come over here, and there we go. Soothing. All right, brake is off. I think we can go up this mighty hill with a fully loaded loading wagon. Let's head up here. All right. Now we get weighed when we pull into the BGA, but that's our silage, right? So I don't fully understand the purpose of the weighing, because that's our silage. Or do we pay a fee for using their pits? Unknown. But I have been curious why we get weighed when it's our silage and we're just going to sell it all anyway. All right. And we want to go left here. Is that correct? Yeah. I'm going to go left here. Carefully. I can't say I'm thrilled they chose to put this game on C4 Tombstone, but I do have to recognize that licensing Unreal, or I don't know if this would be a good game for Unity, but if they had to license Unreal, or if they tried to develop their own engine, I think we might still be waiting for the game. Maybe C4 Tombstone was the best option, all things considered, but I'm not the biggest fan of C4. All right, so we get weighed. There we go. And let's hop back out here, third person. I got. Stop here. Let's go take a look and see if there are prices over here. I don't think there are. There might be. I don't think there are. Okay. So now this says 0.12, 0.5, 0.1, which would be like 70 cents. Well, that's per kilowatt hour, but how does that relate to what we put in there? You know what I mean? How's that? Well, oh, camera. How's that translate? I don't think we have a static price for what we put in there, because if they're talking about electricity and thermal production, heat production, then that's going to be, that sounds like a utility, and perhaps the prices go up and down. So I don't know. Let's go third person. I think we're going to make more money selling silage at the BGA than we would selling field grass at the harbor. All right. So pull in here. Here's somewhere. All right. All right, that's better. It's a little more even. Okay, I'll hop back in here. Wait for that. There we go, and pull off there. Let's see how Asta's doing. If she's done, we're going to send her down to that other field. Break. God, still working. All right. I'm hoping she's done before the lease is up on that mower. I think so. We got for what, 4 hours, and we've been going for 2 hours. So yeah, we're okay. For the moment, we're okay. That was our third load. So that's 120. Yeah, I think we'll have at least 250 in there. Now, one sort of observation I can make about the VGA is you can only sell, I think, a maximum of like 30,000 liters per day. Is there some limitation on that? So it could be that even if you have millions of liters of silage in there, you can't essentially dump it all at once and make a massive pile of money. So maybe that's how they balance it a little bit. All right, we're looking for a row. Don't see one. Wow, did we get over this far? Okay. I didn't think we had. There's one. All right, so we'll turn on. Then we'll lower it. Looks like Ernst is on headlands now. We are picking up. Yep, we are picking up. Okay. So, is he going to be done before? Is he going to be done before Asta is? I'm sorry, I lost concentration. I was watching him. I don't know if you saw him make that little loop around the tree. I mean, they get stuck on the silliest things, but other times they make some pretty complex maneuvers around obstacles. Asta's still working away. Okay. I want to see what the frame rate does when these two workers are done with their tasks. If it immediately picks up, or if it's the fact that we have crops in the field and now rows on the field. Okay, and it looks like he's making 2 headlands. All right, no problem. All right. So lift, and we'll make a big swing here. And we're at 32%. Okay, so we got almost a third of a trailer in one length. Sort of cuts both ways. And now I want to see if he comes down here and does headlands at the bottom as well. They're not really headlands. They're more like I don't know. I think somebody called them faces. Saint Aggressor, how you doing? They described it as not headlands, but as facing a field or heading a field. I forget the term off the top of my head. All right, there's 50%. Yep, looks like he's still got to do headlands down here. Okay. All right, and let's do this. Let's lift that. Let's swing way out here instead of trying to turn before we get to those trees. Oh, I'm fantastic. I had a great weekend. Looking forward to a great week. There we go. Looking forward to a great week. New titles dropping. The year is getting ready to wrap up. 2020 will be over. Over! Oh, we don't have to deal with 2020 anymore. So, yep, it's been a great week and a great weekend. All right, and we're it's just over 70%. Okay. And where's our guy? Where's Ernst? There he is behind us. Okay, so he's doing those headlands behind us now, and the ones at the top of the field are done. So I think he's going to be done here momentarily. He's going to go back to the farm, right? Because we told him to go back there when he's done. And then we'll lease the small base game rake. Put him on that next and send him over to field 23. Hopefully Asta will be done by then. I don't know if she's ever going to be done. That's crazy. I thought initially her mowing task and my mowing this field would be done about the same time. But we're half done. Half done taking it down to the BGA. And she's still working away. All right, there's 93. Let's do what we did before. Let's just head over there now. Right? Rather than ending up with half a row. Okay, so we'll lift that. We'll turn it off. I'm going to make kind of a precarious side hill turn here with a loaded trailer. Probably not something you would do in real life. All right, here we go. And rather than driving down the grass between those fields, if we go right up here, we can get back on pavement. Yep, right there. I'm just in the habit of looking for traffic. I think it's from Truck Sim. Since I started playing Truck Sim with Track IR, I'm always looking for traffic. Yeah, it's not looking its best right now, Saint. It's our frame rate's getting banged up a little bit, and it's a little bit choppy, a little bit of stutter. They're still optimizing the game, but when you've got crop in the fields and when you've got a lot of things going on, the frame rate really seems to drop pretty precipitously. And unfortunately, that's on all systems. That's the same thing that's going on with Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator 20. So it's not something that's unique to like small developers or developers that are maybe not as experienced, because Microsoft and Asobo are certainly experienced. But when Microsoft Flight Simulator 20 dropped, people said, you know, oh, I'm getting 40 FPS. And of course, the response is always, well, it's time to improve your system. And then people would tell like what systems they're on, what they're running. And it's like, oh, God, that sounds like some kind of a DARPA project. So a game that gets kind of choppy and stuttery and has low FPS on a low-end system, right? That's problematic. But a game that does the same thing on a high-end system, that is definitely problematic. So I think that's one of the not complaints. I try to choose my words carefully. I wouldn't say it's a complaint about this game, but something that people are aware of is that, yeah, you can dumb the graphics down, you can potato the graphics to get it to run smooth on a low-end system. The problem is that there doesn't seem to be a way to get it to run smooth on a high-end system, and that's not on you as a consumer to go buy a better computer. That's on the developers to optimize. So apparently they're going to get about that. Well, they're doing that now. They've said that they're focused on optimization at the moment. But in the meantime, I mean, the game does not play badly. I just feel like it's a little sporadic. Frame rate is a little hit or miss. All right. Still good there. Yep. I really do like, I have to say this, I really do like that the silage is not sticky like it is in Farm Sim, right? Like you push in with the silage blade and the silage kind of sticks to it, and then when you back up, the silage like draws itself back out into the place that you just reversed from, right? It's like peanut butter or something. I don't know. Hang on, I gotta read the chat. Yeah, I think part of it is that most developers, when they build a game either for PC or for Xbox or for PlayStation. And then they port it over to the other platforms. I don't know of many developers that simultaneously, independently develop essentially 3 games, right? One for each platform. It's just not done. It's too expensive. So a lot of PC games, I think, because more people play on console, I think a lot of PC games are bad console ports, but it can go in the other direction as well. There are plenty of games that were built for PC and then ported over to the consoles, and the developers really didn't do a very good job of it. So it is, in fairness, it is an almost impossible task to build one game that's going to run well on 3 different systems. And some studios, Rockstar, they can pull it off. However, Rockstar is, you're talking about $50 and $100 and $200 million budgets. I've heard outrageous numbers for GTA 6. But when you look at Red Dead Redemption and how well it plays on all 3 platforms, and, ask yourself, like, what is GTA 6 going to look like? And how good is it going to be? Whatever it looks like, what is it going to be? It's going to be amazing. But that's definitely kind of a unique developer in the landscape. So for most developers, I think it is an impossible task, and they just do their best with it. All right, and is everybody done now? No, Asta is still working. Asta is done, but Ernst is back at the farm. So let's put Ernst on the small rake. And get him going. Well, we can't really get him going. We have to wait till... Yeah, it's a constant battle, though, because you've got... So... hardware manufacturers, right? They make a new series of cards, but those cards really don't mean anything until people build games that take advantage of all the features that they have. So then somebody builds a game that uses, right, the RTX cards and all the crazy features that they have. And now the only way that you can really see everything that game has to offer is if you buy one of those cards. And now all your other games look bad. And so it's like for every iteration of games, there has to be a new series of cards, and every iteration of cards, there has to be a new series of games. I don't know which came first. All I know is it cost me money. I do love buying technology. I look for excuses to buy toys, but sometimes I could use a break. I don't know if I'm going to go 3 series in my next system. I'm on a 1660 Ti right now. It's treating me just fine. So I think I may just go 2000 series. They're going to be so cheap after Christmas. As people get more and more into the 3000s, I think I might go with a nice RTX 2000 system. Save a little money. And so many of the titles that I play, I mean, I don't play big, like, AAA shooter games. I don't play anything that really needs a 3000 series at the moment, like Truck Sim, right? Truck Sim or iRacing or something. That's not... if you play Truck Sim on a 3000 series card, I don't even think you'd notice the difference. On 20-year-old Prism 3D. So it's all good. I got no complaints about my hardware. I've got no complaints about my titles. It's been a fantastic year for gaming. The last title that I'm looking forward to is MXGP 20 on December 16th, and that is it for me. I'm done for the year. I don't think we're going to see Iberia for ETS this year. So I've got no more titles and no more DLC for 2020 that I need. All right. Asta, still working. I don't know what she's doing over there, but I really want to get Ernst going. I think we can just about make our turn on the field now. Halfway. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to start him until she's done. I'm worried they'll start banging into each other. And unfortunately, this field is going to be done. Yeah. You know what? Let's do it after this trip. Let's do it. Let's see if we can put a worker on to pick up these rows. Yeah, you know, I feel not guilty. That's not quite the right word for it. I look at the titles that I have, and particularly like the racing titles that I have, you can't really be casual about them. Like one of the reasons that I got out of Tarkov, I love Escape from Tarkov. It's exactly what I want a shooting game to be. Exactly. Did we miss part of a row over there? What happened there? What's going on there? Let's turn around and pick that up. We got a little bit of room left in the tank. I love Tarkov, but ultimately I had to quit playing it because I realized the people that I was playing against, and even the people I was playing with, like the people that were on my squad, that's the only game they play. And they play it like 6 or 8 or 10 hours a day. So the idea that I could be as good at the game as them, I mean, I'm not a savant, I'm not a natural. Like some people are just natural. They hop into a game and they're just instantly good at it. Something like that, not me. I mean, maybe a racing game at best, but something like Tarkov, I'm not just going to hop into it and be good at it. So I will never be as good as the people that I was playing with. I will never be as good as the people that I was playing against, because that's all they do. And I know there are people that like iRacing. That's all they do. It's the only thing they do. And I play a ton of different titles. Like new content just dropped for Assetto Corsa Competizione. I hopped in there. I haven't played that game in probably a month, right? And now I'm turning 50 laps in a session, trying to refamiliarize myself with the game so I can try out these new cars. But when I look at all the titles that I have and realize how many of them I don't play regularly, I feel kind of bad, but I can't. It's like I can't play every title that I have an equal amount of time because I'll never be good at any of them. And the types of games that I play, right? It's that Tarkov syndrome. Unless you play it a lot, you just forget stuff so quickly, and you're not good at it, right? Like you can't play F1 2020. You can't just hop in F1 2020. What's going on with our speed? There we go. You can't just hop in F1 2020. Typically, before I do a career race, I'll do that same race full length as a quick race, right? Just to get familiar with the track and all the braking points and everything. I feel like so many titles that we own now, you just can't play them casually. And I know every developer would prefer that their game be the only game that we play, but I have too many titles to only play one game. Right? I mean, if you just want to play one title, that's cool. That's totally cool. Some people just play farm sim, some people just play truck sim, but I spread my attention around. I love all my kids. So it's hard sometimes to look at all the titles you have and think, oh, I really should hop back into that. But if I did hop into it, I would need to spend a decent amount of time there just to get good at it again. That's Cold War or the one before that? I've heard sort of mixed reviews about Cold War. It's not, I mean, people like it, but it's not, you know, it's not the best COD ever. All right, so right in here, and I'm going to pull a little further forward. I want to keep this from landing near the entrance. All right. And you know what I could do to even out the ends of this is start from the other end. Pull in, pull around, and drive back from the other end so we get, right, like everything is kind of even down there. It's a little ragged down here. We start from this end a few times. Okay, we'll do that next trip. All right, let's put some workers on, and I need to have some coffee too. All right. Yeah. Now, are you on new Xbox or new PlayStation? Oh, you said PC. Are you on the new Xbox? Or are you on, what is that, Gen 4 they're calling it now? All right, there's our weight. And, oh, you know what? I need to look at this now. Oh, no, we can look at it here. Moment. So let's do several things. Let's set the brake. Let's have some coffee. All right. So if we go here, this is going to tell us what clamp we're in. We're in BGP Silo 3. Okay. So that's one thing. Asta, still not done. Ugh. All right. Let's try this first. So we're going to hop out. Yeah, sim gaming is, that's a different kind of buzz. I'm teaching myself to fly the Zibo 737 in X-Plane, and apparently like every real system in a 737 has been modeled in there. So essentially I'm teaching myself to fly a 737. It's a bit of a handful. All right, we need a worker. I don't even know if this is going to work. We need a worker. So let's hire Gadula Sack. Is that real? Is that made up? That sounds made up. All right. So we're going to hire her for 4 hours. All right. And we're going to go here. We want a new task. A new task. Is this field work or is it harvest? Yeah, she's hot. I don't know how to say her name though. I don't know if I could like start rapping to her. You know what I mean? If you're gonna lead with saying the name wrong, it's all downhill from there. Harvest, transport, field work. Let's try field work first. What? There she is. All right. Select her. We're going to put her in there. And we want... nope. There it is. Want that. Save. Select field. Field 12. Select destination. Okay. So it's not field work. Is it harvest? Select field. Field 12. Select destination. Select unload station. Hang on. Did we go to the wrong place? Oh, okay. This is where... never mind. Different thing. That's where they go after they're done. So, harvest. GP silo 3. Select field 12. Destination after harvest. No implement for harvesting. Okay, so it's not that. So then transport. This is our last chance. No, it looks like you cannot have a worker unless I'm missing something. A BGA filling? No. Unless I'm missing something here, I don't think you can have a worker pick up swath from a field. Okay, that's not a problem. So then we're going to back out of this, and Asta. You disappoint me. All right, let's hop back in here, and we'll have to continue. All right, man, I'll take a look at those maps for you, and I will DM you feedback. I'll try to get to that sometime tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Right. Unless, let's take a look. Yeah, Asta's still moving. I was curious if she had run out of fuel or something, or got stuck. There's nothing to really get stuck on in the middle of a field. I think she's just working very slowly. Okay. And we've got, because Ernst went back to the yard, and where he stopped with his rake, I'm curious if he drops that rake and tries to pick up the other one. Is he, you know what I mean? Is it all going to go not good? We want to turn in right over here somewhere. Oh, it was a little speedy. Could have slowed down for that one. All right, let's do a few things. So we're going to stop right here and set the brake. I mean, I hate to tab, but let's tab a little bit. Let's do some tabbing. All right. What is... what is Asta doing right now? This entire field is done. All right. Asta. I wonder how long she's been done. Because we've been waiting on her for quite some time. And we'll delete this one as well. All right. So we'll lift this thing. Turn it off. We'll fold it. Brake is off. Let's drive up the hill here. Who knows how long she's been done? That is... all right. No game is perfect. Who knows what she was doing in there? Let's same as we did with the big butterfly mowers earlier, let's drop this somewhere where we know it won't be in the way. Because when the lease is up, it's just going to disappear. So let's just drop it here. All right? And that way we can't run into it. The AI can't get caught on it. Nothing like that. Oh, wait. I'm idiot. Hang on. We need her to go to work in field 12. My bad. All right. Set the brake, and let's back up to the road because they get a little confused when they're not on roads. All right. Set the brake. Let's go here. Let's make a task. Our task is going to be new task, preset, harvest, driver, Asta. Vehicle is going to be the MB track with the weight. And then on the back, what? Then on the back, there it is. Then on the back, mower, field 11, right? We did after field lanes before, and it went a little not so good. So let's try before field lanes. Go back to the farm. We selected swap deposit. Let's leave that unselected. Keep vehicle combo. There she goes. There we go. We're inside. Hang on. All right. You got a tab again. So tab through here. Here's this thing. Let's pull this down to get the rake out of the way. Because we're going to put this guy on another task as well. So let's get this rake way off the splines. No possibility of the AI hitting it. Drop that right there. Beautiful. So now, set the brake. We're going to create a task here. New task. Preset. Field work. Oh, hang on. We didn't lease this thing. Where is it? Did we pass it? Where is it? I know it's here somewhere. All right. We're looking for the small rake. There it is. No, that's the tedder. Where's the small rake? It's the big rake. Am I completely baffled right now? Where's our little rake? There it is. Why is it under this thing? Oh. Hang on. Okay, so when you look on it, it put both the Kloss liner in one category. When you have mods selected, it's the only one you see, but when you have everything selected, even though this is the icon for the mod, you can select the little one. Okay. We're going to rent that for 4 hours. There's no need to send it to the farm because when we put our worker on it, they're immediately going to connect it up to their tractor. New task. Field work. Ernst in the Aryan. The wee bumper. Right? And then on the back. On the back. Will be that one. All right, save that. Field 23. Go back to the farm when you're done. Keep combo. Is that right? Start immediately? Yes. Okay, so he's already got that. And now we can tab back into the big Kloss and get back to work. Okay. All right. Wait for that to reset. Wait for that to reset. Where's my texture set? Come on now. There they are. All right. Turn that on. Lower. And here we go. I'm going to let Ernst work a little bit, and then we'll go over and take a look and see, because that thing is offset, so it will need to, the AI will need to calculate like how it's going to do that. I imagine it will do it no problem, because it is base game. It's a base game piece of equipment. All right, so Asta is working in field 11, and Ernst is on his way to field 23. Everything is working. And I'm going to... Wow, we've got a few more trips down to the BGA. I was thinking we'd be done not sooner, but this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. These fields are... arguably, this is one of the biggest fields on the map. Yeah. Pretty big, pretty big. Okay. So not surprising then, but unexpected. And we still have to do headlands as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We might have 4 more trips down there, and we've already made 4. So 8, so that'd be 320,000 just from this one field. Good grief. I mean, I don't want to get rich at the end of our first year. And we won't be rich. We're not going to buy the Tucano or anything. I don't want to make money too fast, and I particularly don't want to make money too fast from silage. That would feel too much like, I don't know, it'd be too easy. Now, in fairness, we did do all the tutorials and all the scenarios so that we could qualify for this bigger gear. Right? If we had started career mode with small equipment, well, no, that doesn't make sense, because the only way to unlock it is to do the scenarios. There's no way you can unlock equipment with XP. So it's not like you could just start a career mode, start playing with small equipment, and then level up enough times that the big stuff would unlock. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like making money. I just hope we don't make money too easily. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. And then the equipment does get progressively more expensive. It gets pretty steep pretty fast. Like the bull slurry sprayer, the liquid fertilizer sprayer. No, not liquid fertilizer. It's slurry digestate sewage. That sprayer, I believe, is $100,000. So, it ramps up pretty quickly. Like if we made 80,000 this year, it seems like a lot, but it wouldn't even be enough to buy that one piece of kit. So as long as we keep renting equipment, we're going to feel like we have a lot of money, but we won't necessarily be able to buy a ton of gear. All right, through there. That's 60%. When we're done, let's take a spin over there and see how Ernst is doing. And as far as I know, with that little rake, as far as I know, if you just do lengths, right, because it offsets to one side the first time and to the other side the next time, it does combine 2 rows into one. But then when it flips the next time, it combines 2 rows into one, the next row over, and the next row over. So I think that'll be okay. I'm just curious how big they're going to be and how far apart they're going to be. And one thing we haven't driven is the rake itself. I'm wondering if, that might be a way to do it. That might be a way to do it. I don't know if the loading wagon will service the rake the same way it can service a combine harvester. You know what? That might be something to take a look at. Okay. I don't know that we'll fully get there on that, But what we can do is when we're done taking all this down to the BGA, we'll drop this trailer. No, we'll leave this trailer in here. I don't know. We'll figure it out somehow. Essentially, we need to be driving a rake. Maybe we'll take over from Ernst. And if we were to put a worker on this rig and then we hop into a tractor with the rake, can we then call that worker to come behind us as though we were a combine harvester? Unknown. So we'll give it a try, though. Mostly I'm just looking for a way that we can get somebody to pick these rows up for us, because this is taking a minute. All right, there's 98%, 99, 99.7. Lift that, turn it off, head to the BGA, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, at least 2 more trips down there, plus the headlands. Wow. I think we might be fixing to get rich. Carefully right through here. There we go. So far, I'm liking the way the, in this case, field grass is going into the pit. It seems like it, I don't know, it may not be realistic the way it sort of automatically smooths itself out, but in this case, I will take a lack of realism over the frustration of the way Giants has their system set up. I know they continue to improve it, and it's a lot better than it used to be. I mean, I remember when 17 first dropped, they had to hot fix the silage because it was so bad. The day one release, it was like driving over mountains, and there was no way to smooth it, and it was just a nightmare. So they did sort it out quite a bit with that first hot fix, but I don't know. It's just always seemed too liquid. So this is definitely less realistic, or unrealistic. I don't know that it's something you need to really compare to the way Giants does it. It's unrealistic. I know in real life, compressed solids don't behave this way, but when you measure it against the frustration of trying to, like, I don't know, manipulate silage and have it squirting out all over, I think I prefer this system. And we're in the first one? Yeah, we're in the first one. All right. I guess we'll just go back down. Let's go down the center. I don't think we've got 2 layers in the center. So we'll go right down here. Right about there. Right. All right. So we'll go get Wade, be on our way. On our way. See how we did. we go. I don't know if there will ever be an option to, so we've put silage into the pit, right? But then we have to transfer it from the pit to the hopper where it actually gets converted, I guess, or fermented. So first we need to make it into silage, and then we need to convert it to energy. And we only get paid for the second phase of that. I'm curious if there would ever be a way that the BGA could essentially buy what we've put in the pit. They paid less money for it than if we put it in the hopper, but we would get that money sooner and there would be less work involved. Right? So let's say we get, I don't know, 50 cents per liter. No, that's too much. Let's say we get, I don't know, 100 euro per ton or something if we put it into the hopper and convert it to energy. But then the BGA for 50 euro per ton would just buy it from us as silage. Did I say all that right? I feel like I said that completely wrong, but I know what I meant in my head. Essentially, we would get less money. We would skip a step and get less money, but we would get it sooner. All right. Starting to lose track of my rows here. There it is. Okay. In a way, though, I guess this does make sense because we paid, I think, almost 100 grand for this field, and then like 25,000 a piece for the ones to the left and right. So in that way, we won't even make our money back for the investment in the fields for at least 2 years. So yeah, that's fair. I mean, because we'll be getting money this year, but it's important to remember not just the money we're getting, but also the money we spent. And I'm not really taking that into account right now. Right. Carefully, don't hit the tree. Beautiful. We've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 more rows. Wow, this field just goes on and on. I mean, it's money, right? All this grass is money. It seems like the only thing we can't automate, because I did have our workers fertilize. You just calculate everything out, and then you tell them exactly how much of what fertilizer you want on what field, and they do it. So that's not a problem. We can have them do everything. I think literally the only thing I've come across that they can't do yet is what I'm doing right now. But it seems like they can do everything else. And if we get on the rake and we can get them to follow along behind us, then they can even do this. Sort of. So what that means is next year, in-game, I think we can automate a lot of this out and only do what we feel like doing. And I know, I mean, for some people, they want to automate everything. They just want to have the whole farm sort of run by itself. And sometimes I do want to do that, but there are other days there are specific things that I'm kind of in the mood to do. You know, drive the combine harvester, or drive the cart, or plow, or whatever. But that you only end up doing the things that you want to do and not feel like you have to do things. But I think, yeah, you can put a worker on just about every task. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Yep, 5 more. Okay. So we'll get this one and the next one. All right. And then we still got headlands. All right. We're getting through it. We're getting through it. And that's Ernst out there. And then Asta on the other side. I don't know what happened with her, and I don't know how long she was done working before we went over and stopped her. It's not really that big a deal, but curious what happened there, like where the break in the chain was with the AI for her to just be driving back and forth across the field like that. All right, so I'll lift this right about there. Right there. And that's 75%. I don't think we'll make it to the end of this row. And we can use any of those pits, right? Now let's just go ahead and fill number 3. I was thinking we could put this whole field in number 3 and then maybe put those other 2 fields in another one. There's no reason to. We don't gain anything by doing that. All right. So I need to remember to stop before we fill up and jam our pickup. So there's 90%. $94. 96. 7. 98. So close. I gotta stop. Gotta stop. Can't risk it. There's that. Here we go. And I'm going to pull up through the trees here and get on the road, get on the pavement, and turn to the right. And as far as paying Asta, I think it's going to take a few months for our silage to be ready. So as far as, I mean, we could fire Asta. For some reason, I don't want to. Not sure why. But we'll keep her around. And if we need some money for payroll, we can sell one of the cultivators. I mean, really, we could sell all the equipment that we have, because we won't need it again until we get into our next arable crop. And I don't know if we're going to do that next year or the year after. So we could free up some money that way. Or we could sell a tractor. Maybe sell the MB track. But we'll be okay. I mean, I guess we could take out a loan just to see how it's done. Right? Just to see what the process is. But we'll make it till we start selling down at the BGA. Right. Right about like so. Beautiful. I mean, I can't imagine that we'd get 10 loads out of that field. But if we do, that's going on $500,000 from that one field. And if that holds and the pricing holds, we're talking about now like over $100,000 just from grass. I like it. I like that money, but it does feel too easy. All right, here we go. right in there somewhere. That middle grass field, number 12, I think we might get 500,000 liters out of it. And I can't find a price on silage to the VGA. I found a price on field grass if we sell it down at the harbor. So if we just sold these fields down at the harbor, I think we could get like 60 grand. But I think that's just for the field grass itself, not for silage. So I'm curious, right? When we start selling, I'm curious how much money we're going to make from this. But earlier I was thinking 60, and then as we continued bringing like load after load down, started thinking maybe 80. And now, I mean, we might get 500,000 out of that one field. And if that's the case, then we might make 100 grand from silage at the end of our first year. And I really don't know how I feel about that. Oh, and you know what? I take that back. It's not the end of our first year. This is the end of our second year. End of our first year, we harvested our barley and made a total of 10 grand. All right, it's that one. Yeah, I found the chart on the side of the building there, and it had the rate for power, but I don't know how much silage it takes to generate a kilowatt. Right? Next time we go down there, we'll go load up again and head back down there. But it looked like the prices were for kilowatts. And I don't know how many kilowatts you get out of a ton of silage. I mean, I would think that you would get more for silage than you would for field grass, because there's more work put into it. But I don't know. All right. So in here one more time. I'm just going to keep doing this till we're done. I think that's how we're going to finish the episode, is I'm going to finish up this field. I'm sort of obsessed with it now. All right. And we've got what? We've got, oh yeah, a tiny little bit left at the end of this row right here, and then we'll grab these others. Oh, there goes that frame rate. A whopping 22 FPS. What can you do? There's our guy working there. All right. And we're good back here. Are we, what's going on? Are we picking up in our pickup? Now we are. I missed a little bit right there. Hang on. How's your OCD? Mine's manageable. All right. Got it. I'm really curious if Asta gets done with that field quicker. It's about the same size as field 23, but I really don't know how long she was done and just driving back and forth. It could have been 5 minutes. It could have been 45 minutes. All right. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I think we'll get this one, the next one, part of that, and then we'll have the headlands and maybe one more sort of baby row on the end. So 2 more trips down there. What's that? 8, 9 at 40,000 a piece. So 360. Okay, so not quite 500,000, but 360. And it's not nothing. That's pretty good for one field. And then those 2 fields on the end, I think, equal about this field again. So that puts us at 700,000 liters. I don't know. I wish I could find a price for what the BGA pays. All right. Have a little coffee here. And that's 50% right there. Okay. Frame rate is so much smoother when we're pointed away from the center of the map. Because right now what we're looking out at is essentially, like, I don't want to say nothing, but there's really no scenery rendering where we're looking. There's just a few trees in front of us and then the backdrop behind that. So it's a lot smoother here. The frame rate is still low, right? We're at 27, 28. But it's smooth. When we're pointed the other way, we're at like 24, 25, but it's really stuttery. So I think it's a combination of rendering scenery and having the workers on. Because if we didn't have the workers on right now, we'd be at like 60 plus. But work in progress. And at the very least, we got all these rows off this field, so that should help with the render a little bit. A little bit. There is, this will be just about 80%. Just lift that, get this flipped around. All right. And I believe this is our last length. Yeah, I think there's like half a length up here. Maybe, but that's the bulk of it. Okay. 90. $95, and we'll stop right about somewhere right about here. And we won't see any of this money for months. And when we do see it, I think we'll see it like a few thousand euro per day. So we might not have access to this money and it's August now, we might not have access to this money till next spring. But that's real life, you know, you don't always get big lump sums. So we'll just take it as it comes. But I know once we get this in here, it's as good as money in the bank. I may back that save game off to 30 minutes. I turned that on because of the incident. Well, it was a combination of things. We had a game freeze, and I was not saving any games at all. And fortunately, that backed us up to a point before we had put a lot of work into those 4 small fields that we owned last season in-game. So we didn't lose a ton of work because we just kind of abandoned them and bought other fields. But I think we could go to 30 minutes on that instead of 15. There's our weight. I'm trying to think. I can't really see visually like where we've been. I can sort of see, but it's not 100% clear. Like as far as the height, let's go down the middle again. And I'm going to pull a little bit further forward, because where I opened before, I thought we were in far enough, but where I opened last time through, it immediately like kind of squirted it out toward the entrance. All right, there's that. Let's head back around and get weighed. So when we get back to the field, I'm going to start on a headland, right? Because we'll essentially have to drive past it. From where we leave the road to where we enter the field, we'll be crossing a headland. So we'll go ahead and pick that up as we make our way down to that final length. And then when we get to the top, we'll come back across the other end of the field. I think, yeah, I want to take a look at the screen down here at the PGA after we drop off the next time, because I don't think we're coming back again. 17, okay. So we're going to go fill up one more time. Come down here, drop off, and then when we go back to field 12 and fill up, well, we won't be full. I think we'll be about 3/4 full, and then we'll pull over to field 23 and wait for Ernst to be done. And I think we'll call it for the day. Because, yeah, we're going on, a little over 3 hours. It's kind of long for a stream. For one of my streams. I don't know how people do this for like 10 or 12 hours. It's amazing. I don't know if I could go 12 hours. I just don't know. And then tomorrow, I owe you an X-Plane. Well, I want to do an X-Plane. I don't know if you want an X-Plane. I don't know if anybody's going to watch me stream X-Plane, but I had some audio problems in an X-Plane stream that I did last week. So I'm going to redo that stream. Zurich to Paris. I'm going to redo that tomorrow. Then the day after, let's take a day off Farm Sim. Cattle and crops. I keep calling it Farm Sim because it's a farm simulator. I know it's not Farm Sim. But you know what I mean. Let's step away from the farm for a minute. So we'll do X-Plane tomorrow. We very nearly hit that tree. We'll do X-Plane tomorrow, and we'll do Euro Truck on Tuesday. Start way lower. Ernst didn't do a very good job down here in the corner of the field, but I think we'll let that slide. Not a big deal. Yep. This is going to be a very slow playing, long playing game. This is the amount of time that we've put into one field. And again, a lot of tasks can be automated. And as we get more equipment and we're able to pay more workers, a lot of this stuff can be automated. But I think what we're doing right now is one of the only things around the farm that can't be automated. So I think this is just going to have to be the way it is. Now, what we could have done is we could have used a forage harvester as can we use that as a mower? Yeah, we can. We can. So what we could have done, and that's what we'll do next time. What we can do is put a worker on the Jaguar with that great big header on it and have them harvest a grass field and have one of the other workers service them as they would any forage harvester. Yep, I think that's a fix. Okay, so let's lift this as we bounce along here. Let's lift this. We'll get to the end of this little baby row up here. Okay, so there is even a way to automate this. Okay, we just need to skip the mowing phase, and instead of mowing, we need to have a forage harvester bring in the grass. Okay. I assume that will work because you can put a worker. You can put a worker on the forage harvester, and you can put a worker on a cart servicing the forage harvester. So yeah, that'll work. You know, there's a little bit of like just the edge of a row right there, but I'm gonna leave it. At least for now, I'm gonna leave it. I may come back and get after it again, but for now, I'm gonna leave it. I want this field done. Okay, so even for grass, there is a way to put everything on workers. Fertilizing, harvesting, transport. Yep. Okay, we know for next time. So I'm going to lift that. We'll go across the top here. We're at about 30%. Go across here. Pick up a little dirt for our cows. No, I'm sorry, this isn't going for cows. This is going to make energy. So yeah, there can be a little gravel in there. Asta's still working away. And we could, no, I think it's too late now. I think once the grass is cut, a worker doesn't really know where it is, right? So when the worker runs the rake, they're more or less just driving over the entire field. But I don't Is there... We'll take a look. Take a look when I'm done. I know there's a mower header for the Jaguar. I don't know if there's a grass pickup header. Or if it even matters. Unknown. Alright. So we'll lift that. I'm going to go around these trees. I guess I'm just trying to think of all the different ways you could get grass from grass, right? Like growing grass. Get that knocked down and either raked and picked up or foraged up and taken down to the BGA. Okay. Go back across here. We're at 50%. So I think we'll get back across the headland here. And maybe part of the one down on the other end of the field. I don't think we'll get the whole thing. We'll head down to the BGA. We will drop this off. Take a look on the wall. On the board there, see what we have in the pit, and then come back here, check on Ernst, check on Asta, and we'll call it a day. Beautiful. Because there is, yeah, I'm trying to think. In Farm Sim, I know there is. Well, in Farm Sim now, there's no mower header for forage harvesters. At least in base game, there may be a mod, but in base game, the forage header just picks up a row of mowed grass. I don't think there's a mower header. There used to be. Maybe. I don't know. All right, let's go get this. We're at 68%. If this row down on the end here is less than about 30%, we can close out this field. If not, we'll just pass over what we missed when we come back. And we'll head over here and see how this guy's doing. Is he, he's not done already, is he? Maybe. All right. Where is this last row? Right there. I noticed the devs do sort of fade in when you get close to things. There's no real abrupt pop in. Sometimes, but the way the crops fade in, like distant crops in the field, they do fade in kind of smooth and soft rather than just popping in, right? Like all of a sudden an entire field just pops in. I mean, when you switch back and forth like this, it does. But I mean, when you're driving, like out in front of us, the draw distance, yeah, you saw it right there. The draw distance is not abrupt. It's got kind of a feathered edge. All right, and it looks like that's 80% right there. It looks like we will be able to get this whole headland row in there. Perfect. So we won't have to grab anything when we get back. We can just go over and talk to Ernst. Beautiful. And I also, I saved out of the, I saved and quit while workers were working. And when I restarted that game, they just picked up exactly where they left off. They didn't need to be like restarted or reprogrammed or anything. They just, it was like they just froze in place. And when I restarted the game, off they went. So as soon as I'm done, as soon as we end the stream, when I save game and quit, I'm not worried about what's going to happen with the two workers that we have on. They'll just pick up from where they left off. All right, so we'll stop that. Get out on the road here. Here we go. I want to say that was at least 8 or 9 trips, so at least 300,000. right about here, carefully. Right in here. There we are. Beautiful. All right, let's get turned around here. It doesn't look like a lot. It says that pit holds like 2 million, and we're gonna have it by the time we're all done with all 3 fields. We're gonna have it, what, like a quarter full? Doesn't look like it's coming up on a quarter full, unless it's a billion. All right, like I misplaced a comma. Let's go down the center again. That looks lower than the sides. Come right in here, right about there. Yeah, getting a little bumpy. Not terrible, but it's getting some little peaks in it. All right, so let's pull right over here. Go take a look at the board, then we'll head back, see how Ernst is doing, and call it. All right, so we want at least 300,000. How'd we do? 348. Okay, so field 12. Is that right? Yeah, field 12 with good fertilization and plenty of water. 350. Okay, that's not bad. And then with those other 2 combined, we should be, I'd say 700,000. I think those other 2 fields are nearly as big. Those other 2 fields combined are nearly as big as field 12. So 700,000. Okay, man. I want to make money. I don't know if we're going to, but I want to. Just not too much. Don't make it too easy. All right. Go. So we'll go check on Ernst, who, well, I mean, he can't be nearly done already, because it seemed like he started in the center of the field. So I feel like he's only done half of it, but we'll see when we get over there. And then also Asta. Yeah, I mean, Asta's making progress. Oh, and she did, Asta did her headland first. She's on lengths now, so she may be almost done as well. And also, I need to take a look at some headers. The forage harvester headers, and see if there is one for picking up a swath. I know there's a mower. We want this one? Yes, we do. Yep, right there. Let's go third person. Yeah, Asta's nearly done. I'd say probably another 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Wow, she... Big headland. All right, let's drive across to see Ernst. I'm sort of dreading that I need to gather up these 2 fields manually with the loading wagon, but live and learn. And hopefully, well, I wouldn't say we never have to do it again, but at least we know there are other ways to do it in the future. All right, set the brake. I'm going to leave this running because it's been working hard. Let it cool down a little bit, and let's see how our guy is doing. So he's definitely working on headlands, and we told him to do that last. So does he have rows all the way across this field? Yeah, I think he might. And he's... yeah. Got a ways to go on the headland, but I think, yep, he's got lengths done all the way across. Okay. Cool. And that's a much smaller swath, right? Because that thing is... what he's working with now is... find it. It is 5. So 5 and 5 is 10, right? And this thing is 7. Interesting. Okay, so the swath that this thing is making is 5 and 5. Ah, so this swath is actually going to be... the swath that Ernst is making right now, oh god, is actually heavier and is going to pick up more quickly than the one that we made with the bigger rake. Okay. Interesting. Last thing. And I'm definitely done. My voice is about gone. I'm dehydrated. So this is a mower. 5-meter cutter unit for mowing and chopping grass or grain. You can use it on field grass. Okay. But this mows the grass as it grows out of the ground. Then we've also got this thing, and this is only for corn. Is that correct? That's only for corn. And now if we go down here, we've got a mod. We've got this thing. I think this is just a blower. Yeah, I think that's just a blower. I don't think that picks anything up. It's for moving things around, I think. And then down here, right, we've got this. This could be, yeah. Oh, do you want to do that now? I'm tempted. Tempted to do that now. I think we can pick up a swath with this on this, right? And then we could call a worker. You want to do it? How much to rent this thing? Oh god. €100. And then this thing, also €100. I'm tempted. You know what? No, I've been going for 3.5 hours. I gotta take a break. But next episode, we will test that out because I'm really curious. All the different ways that we can gather up swath. I want to do it as efficiently as possible. So what we can do, because we have more workers now, what we can do is rent 2 big tractors and 2 trailers and just have them swap back and forth while we drive around in the New Holland and pick up swath. Okay. There you go. There you have it. What did I say? Explain tomorrow. Cattle and crops on Tuesday. Euro truck on Wednesday. I may have got that wrong before, but that's what we're going to do. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate you. You're a great audience. See you tomorrow. Take care.